And welcome back to another episode of Behind the Podcast. And for those of you who watched our other ones, we're giving you some analysis of when we release the podcast. We want to go a little more details into it. And if you didn't already know, we had a podcast that we just released. And so go find it on your Apple iTunes, and you can see that it's out there right now, the Legal 123s with ByrdAdatto. And Michael, what was this podcast that we just did? What episode did we just do?
Our friend Paul Frank, he is a dermatologist in Manhattan, joined us. And when we were thinking about this season, I just kept thinking we have to figure out how to get Paul on, because we were both struck by, really, he's the first person we knew that had COVID-19. I mean, he got it in the middle of March in Manhattan, had really significant symptoms. He's young. I mean, he's 50 years old, exercises 6 days a week, is in great shape, and so hearing his story is really powerful and educational. And what I don't think we really anticipated more than hearing his story was just how much education and training has helped him from a business perspective. And we can talk a little bit more about that. But tell me, Brad, something you recall about this episode recording.
Yeah, and as the fun takeaways, I think that I definitely would take is, number one was, obviously what our audience doesn't realize is on the podcast side is that we're shooting these via Zoom, so we can see Paul the whole time, and he was dressed as dapper as we normally see him, but he had his little earbuds in, and he just sitting there, just kind of just as if we were sitting around the office with him, just spinning a story. It was great just to see how we interacted with him, and he's just such a great person to see, and it was great to do it via the Zoom. So I got a lot of kick just watching him as he told the story.
Yeah, it was great. What about takeaways? I would say a good reason to listen to it again is how he used his branding and marketing strategies, all grounded in education and training. If you follow him online, you can see it. We talked about that. And as I alluded to a minute ago, the surprising thing to me was hearing how that tool was effective in helping remove fear from his staff about coming back, and having a strategy for making the patients feel safe when they came back. And he's really busy and been successful. He's had some challenges, and so it's a really powerful episode, and you get to hear firsthand what it's like to hear what someone who had COVID and had significant symptoms, what that was like.
Yeah, and I think you hit it, but I completely agree. He's always been a big proponent of education, so the fact that he had to shift in the sense of after COVID, he didn't have to shift after COVID because education's always been who he is, and so he was continuing able to educate himself, obviously, and then his patients, and then of course his staff, who they had to get comfortable as to what the things he was to put in place. So it was a great episode, and I'm hoping everyone has a chance to have already listened to it. If not, I definitely recommend going to listen to it, because it was an amazing story to hear him tell. So Michael, I don't know if you have anything else to add in.
I don't.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for joining us. And remember to look for our episode. It is the Legal 123s with ByrdAdatto. We're on lots of different platforms now, and please listen to us, and hopefully you enjoy it. Thanks again.
Thanks.